Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun.
So I just wanted to talk about 5 different things that I learned becoming a stay-at-home mom. And for any of you mothers out there that are on the fence about wanting to become one, or are already stay-at-home moms, or recently became a stay-at-home mom like me and still don't know what they're doing or a little bit nervous about it, this is for you. So number 1, I learned that time is precious. So whenever you can get your rest, please do. Please do, mama. Please get your rest. If your child is taking a nap, it's best for you to take a nap as well. As they say, when the baby sleeps, you sleep. And I know it's as simple as that, but it really is important. You have to prioritize your sleep, because if you don't prioritize your own sleep, you can't really take care of them to the best of your ability, and you won't be as fresh. So number 2, I learned that it's very important to take breaks, because if you don't, you will get burnt out, which is something I'm still obviously learning, because I tend to overwork myself. But when you take those breaks, when you take those little moments to spend time with them, or to even sometimes you have to be selfish to take time for yourself, but it's not really selfish if it's self-care. So even if it's for your mental health, like listening to podcasts or an audiobook, or just reading the Bible or praying, if you're religious, anything of that nature to decompress, it will help you to, get back to that sound mind that you really need to focus and continue going. So those are some of the things I have to do sometimes to decompress, to just, take a moment, take those breaks, pace yourself. I mean, I took almost 7-8 months off from the podcast. Not that wasn't, intended, but I needed that time. So it's not a regret.
It's rabbit season.
Sorry guys, I can't speak. So it's not a regret. I don't regret it. I needed that time for myself to really take a break from everything. So it's okay. So as a stay-at-home mom, or as a mom in general, you need to take those breaks for yourself, for your kids, and you have to prioritize both, because both are very important. And number 3, I learned to give yourself grace. Not every day is going to be the same. Some days are going to be messy. Some days are going to be annoying. Some days you're going to want to literally pull your hair out. You're going to be just so frustrated. And that is okay. It's just, you got to keep going. You have to try. And not everything's going to be perfect. Sometimes your house is going to be a mess. Your house is going to be a wreck. But it's okay. Not everything's going to be perfect. You just have to adapt. You just have to keep going. The whole, we potty train my daughter. And sometimes, she's fully potty trained. She knows how to, use the restroom. Sometimes she has accidents. You have to be patient. Explain this is not acceptable. You already know how to use the restroom. You have to use it in the toilet and not on the floor. So little things like that. You want to give yourself grace. You want to give your children grace. Every day is different, so you have to just keep trying. Sometimes you may not get everything done in the day. As a stay-at-home mom, you feel like your to-do list is just endless, and I'm sure a lot of you moms that are out there listening right now can relate. You just have this long list of things, and it's like never ending. And sometimes you can't check everything off because you're just one person. You only get 24 hours in a day. So what have you accomplished today? Think about that. That's something my husband has implemented with me. He's like, don't sweat the small stuff. Think about what have you accomplished in that day. And I've started doing that. So at the end of each day, I will try to say, okay, so what did I get accomplished today? And when I actually physically write it all down, or even say it all out loud, it's usually a lot. It's usually a lot more than the typical, I would like to say the typical person may have accomplished. So you have to give yourself credit. You have to give yourself due credit for what you do accomplish, because us stay-at-home moms do accomplish a lot. So yeah, you may not be working, but taking care of your children is a full-time job. And if you're married, taking full of your husband is also a full-time job. So both together, and then on top of that, trying to be an entrepreneur is like having 3 full-time jobs. It's a lot. So definitely give yourself grace, give yourself credit. So I'll lump that all in one, but yeah, that's number 3. So number 4, it's like I can't count, sorry. Number 4, I would have to say is, definitely make time for yourself. As a stay-at-home mom, we are so selfless. We give so much of ourselves that sometimes it's difficult to just, we talked about taking breaks, but to just have time for yourself, just you. And something I'm still working on, to just, you know, if you're married or have a significant other, just ask your spouse to take the kids for a while, go on a walk, read a book, do something that brings you pleasure, that helps you decompress. If you need to have a warm bath, some music, some tea, some coffee, wine, however you decompress, you just need to do it. And just having some time away from your children can be really refreshing. It'd be really refreshing sometime. And then when you come back to them, you feel refreshed, you feel rejuvenated, and you're able to better handle and take care of them without lashing out or being irritated or over the edge because you just haven't gotten a break because you're always with them all the time. So I feel like that's something I'm still learning, so actively practicing. So I'm not only saying this just for you all that are listening, but I'm saying it also for myself, to reaffirm myself. I need to continue working on this, keep making this a practice. And for those of you listening, hopefully this can be of value and benefit to you as well. Because as moms, especially stay-at-home moms, it can get really difficult to try and make that time for yourself. Because sometimes we feel, I don't know about you, but sometimes we feel guilty. I know I feel guilty sometimes. Like, oh, I should be making my daughter a sandwich. I should be doing the laundry. I'm not saying don't feed your kid. Definitely feed your kid, do the laundry. But if you're doing so much all the time, every single second, to the point where you're neglecting yourself, your own wants and needs, and, you know, if you're forgetting to eat, which it got that bad for me, but sometimes I would forget to literally eat lunch that day, which I'm sure a million moms can relate to that. But if you make it such a habit where you're literally skipping meals, you're not doing the things you enjoy, you're kind of in a funk, that's not healthy, and your kids shouldn't see you that way. So definitely make time for yourself. Last but not least, number 5 is document everything. Don't be afraid to take your phone, take your camera out, whatever you use, and just really document your children's growth, little pictures here and there every day, like what they do and little funny moments.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side, our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun.
It's because you never get that time back. Being a stay-at-home mom, I think we have this unique position where, because we're not working outside of the home, we're able to capture those moments. We're able to visibly see our children grow. So really documenting that and through pictures and having those forever is really a beautiful thing. You can get a photo album and have a family album that they can look back on for years to come. And I know as a photographer, you're probably like, oh, it's easy for you because you're a photographer. But I'm also a mom, so not necessarily. I don't have my professional camera out every 5 minutes because sometimes I'm changing a diaper or, you know, making dinner. So sometimes they're just those little simple photos on my iPhone, which, yeah, in this day and age, it's almost as good as my camera, I'm not gonna lie, especially portrait mode, especially. But whether it's in portrait mode or not, just taking those pictures, whether you have an Android or iPhone, take those pictures of your kids. You will not regret it. And also, mamas, do not forget to take pictures with your kids. Something I'm still working on because I'm not a huge fan of pictures. I like taking pictures of just my children or just my children with my husband. But remember to take pictures with your kids and of your kids. Document everything. Document life. Those little moments, because really those little moments are the big moments. I know it sounds so cliche, but it's really super important. So these are the 5 things I learned becoming a stay-at-home mom this year. It's been a very transformative, pivotal moment in my life that I've really grown to enjoy more than I thought that I would. Now, I know I used to be terrified of not working, but now I'm terrified of even going back to a traditional job, and I kind of don't want to. So that's why I'm trying to merge entrepreneurship with motherhood so that I can do both and be happy and be fully present with my children. So if you're in a season of on the fence of whether you should become a stay-at-home mom, please take my 5 things that I've learned as some helpful advice that you can learn from and enjoy. And if you're on the fence about it, and if you already are a stay-at-home mom, I hope you got value as well. Or if you are even a mom to be, so that you can think about if this is right for you. And I hope you guys enjoy this episode. So that's all I have for now, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care.
We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life.